creating alternate worlds from the ones you know. I am the Watcher. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question, what if?
Welcome back, guys. It's been a while. On today's episode of What If, we're going to be exploring 3 alternate scenarios which would significantly alter the course of American history.
We're going to start big with, what if McKinley conquered the whole world because America never stopped imperializing? In the original timeline, Spanish-controlled Cuba was in the midst of a rebellion, and the United States constantly backed the Cubans in their fight for independence, as it reminded most Americans of their own past endeavors with Britain. President McKinley didn't want to intervene in foreign affairs, but once a U.S. armed cruiser, the Maine, mysteriously exploded and sank in Havana Harbor, the American public quickly blamed Spain, and this sparked the Spanish-American War.
The war resulted in a quick American victory, as America gained Puerto Rico, the Philippines, Guam, Cuban independence, but didn't advance McKinley and Roosevelt's ideas of imperialism. There was no reason to continue the conquest, and the people were not motivated to conquer more land. But what if?
After this great win, it's time for us to enter stage 2 of our plan.
You're saying it's finally time to conquer Mexico?
Yes, of course. Them, then the rest of their dirty hemisphere.
Wait. We can't do that. The people will never support it. It's too expensive.
Wanna bet? My fellow Americans, I have come to speak to you today about our great victory over the Spanish. We have gained land and power. Lesser presidents would stop here. Lesser nations would stop here. But we are different. We don't stop. We take what's ours. It is the destiny of our great nation to spread from freedom to all the world. We will manifest our destiny and conquer all that stands in our way. America! We start with Mexico and we'll conquer the continent.
Yeah! This isn't real. No, he can't do this. He can't do it. No.
Let's do this.
McKinley, with the full support of the American people, launched a massive war against Mexico. General Roosevelt led the forces on the ground as they stormed through, and Admiral Squash led America to a decisive naval victory. After the 2 generals were able to win the major battles, Mexico was conquered by America. Never satisfied, McKinley turned his sights to South America.
Hello, my fellow Americans. It's me, McKinley. Together, this new empire will bring peace to the world and freedom to those in oppression.
Following a dominant campaign in the Amazon rainforests, American troops were able to cut into South America, conquering the northern half. Over the following 5 years, the rest of South America was conquered.
How is the propaganda campaign going?
It's going great.
Agent Long,
Hello, sir.
how is Project Diablo developing?
It's going pretty well. We're currently hunting down the rebel leader, Silva Bogan.
Good. I'm working on raising morale, and we will have the Empire united soon.
Beautiful.
Targets in my sights.
Having suppressed the largest rebellious voices, over the years, the empire became united, as the leaders made sure to keep morale high and spread propaganda, while having a successful economy throughout the empire. Canada got nervous about the empire to its south and tried to attack a military base, but was swiftly defeated. The surrender of Canada saw the formation of a multi-continental empire stretching from the furthest north and south points of the Western Hemisphere. During World War I, the American Empire gave aid to the Allies and Central Powers both, but began giving less and less to the Central Powers as the war went on. Too scared of the enormous empire, Germany never decided to sink the American supply boats, so America stayed out of the war. During this time, they continued to build up their economy and internal cohesion. 20 years later, after World War I came to a close, the rise of a fascist dictatorship arose in the heart of Europe, which threatened world peace. World War II begins.
Oh my country. The Americans have shown us what we can do. We can take over all of Europe and conquer like they did in North America. Who is with me?
Hitler drew inspiration from the American Empire and their unprecedented feats of conquest, and with that extra resolve, was able to command his troops to a decisive victory over the Allies in Stalingrad, turning the tide of the war in the favor of the Nazis. After a staggering defeat, the Allies feared that the entire continent of Europe would fall to Hitler and his despicable regime. Flustered, the Allied leaders held an emergency meeting where they had to turn to their last hope: America.
Oui, I can't believe we lost.
I lost 1 million men.
Oi, bro, we need them.
Somebody called.
No way.
Let's talk business.
Monsieur McKinley, what is it you have in mind?
America will help you defeat the Nazis on one condition. After the Nazis are defeated, you will all join the American Empire.
What do you mean?
What?
Here's how I see it. You're either conquered by the Nazis or by me. Take your pick.
Okay, we have come to the conclusion. We will take your offer.
Good.
Now, with no other option, the Allies accepted the Emperor's offer, and only with the military support from the American Empire, the Allies were able to turn the tide of the war back in their favor, and would face a do-or-die battle in Normandy, France. With the Nazis now defeated, the Allies drafted the Treaty of Paris. This treaty would end the war, but also now place all of Europe under the control of the American Empire. On the Western Front, American troops defeated Japan with their superior numbers and firepower. The entire Japanese Empire was taken under American control, with the exception of China, which became dependent on America, but was too large to take while fighting a whole separate war. Now, with the Western Hemisphere and Europe conquered, the American Empire set their eyes on the powerhouse continent, the largest obstacle left in their mission: Asia.
Guys, we need a plan for the Asian conquest if we want to take them over.
Sir, I've been working on this plan for 17 years.
It better be good.
We will send a secret agent into the Chinese court, and they will sow a rumor that India plans to go to war with China. They will surely go to war with each other, and we'll swoop in and take all the land for ourselves.
I suppose this could work. You will implement this plan, and all responsibility will fall on you if it fails. Do you understand?
Sir, yes, sir!
Sir, yes, sir!
The American Empire realized that attempting to take the two largest countries remaining would be impossible, so they began to devise a plot to pin China and India against each other.
你想要什么？我必须马上告诉主席。皇上，印度要进攻我们了。
'Tis not good. We must assassinate their leader.
是的，先生。
These are my sides.
With the president killed, Chinese forces stormed into India, and a brutal war began with the Chinese pushing deeper and deeper into the heart of India. Millions died. Right as India was on its last legs, American troops from Indochina swooped in and claimed the victory. China was not focused on keeping their home protected, and American forces from the Asian front took over China. Beat on two fronts and exhausted from the war with India, China acquiesced to the absolute power and charisma of the empire.
After all this time, only Africa remains.
Now with Asia conquered, the American Empire was the largest empire in world history, and only one continent stood in the way of total global domination: Africa. Almost every African nation surrendered almost instantly to the American Empire, not wanting to face an invasion or having to deal with the deaths of all their citizens at the hand of the empire. Now realize I said almost every nation. One African nation located directly in the middle of the continent refused to surrender to the empire. This nation was the nation of Chad. They wouldn't give up everything they worked so hard to obtain that easily. And so we now are in modern American empire history, the conquering of the last nation of the world. On August 24th, 2009, Army General Barack Obama was ordered by Emperor Dwayne Johnson to hunt down and kill the last king of the nation of Chad. He rendezvous with Admiral Squatch at the foot of the tallest mountain in Chad, and at the summit, the king was waiting.
What's up, Obama?
Admiral Squatch, what's the report on the King of Chad?
He's there.
I'm on my way.
Go kill him, Judy.
Oh, Admiral Obama! Hey! Are you a citizen of Chad?
Hello, it's me, Chad Citizen.
You're a Chadidian?
Yes!
Last King of Chad, I've come to take your land.
General Obama. No such thing. Jump fire! For my people.
General Obama gave a heroic sacrifice to eliminate the final king of Chad, and now without a leader, Chad surrendered to the American Empire. And it is finally complete. The American Empire stretches the entire globe. A dream that started with Emperor McKinley in the 1890s now has finally been completed by Emperor Dwayne Johnson 120 years later. But just because the empire was complete didn't mean that there wouldn't be internal conflict within its bounds. The election for emperor in 2008 was a fierce debate between Dwayne Johnson and John Cena. This political battle waged continuously, and many analysts forecalled that it would end in a stalemate, as Cena and his supporters believed a more peaceful approach to acquiring Chad, while Johnson and his supporters wanted to invade and conquer, as they did with the rest of the world. The night before the final decision, something changed. The polls were split evenly when all of a sudden, the polls heavily turned in favor of Johnson. Many questioned where these phantom votes came from, but not many really wanted to dive too deep into it. But Cena knew exactly what happened. So when Emperor Johnson went to visit the nation of Chad after it was conquered, Cena had a surprise waiting for him.
this is my kingdom.
Audio Jungle.
Originally, Washington and his troops crossed the Delaware and launched a successful surprise attack on the Hessian mercenaries that were aiding the British. This was a turning point in the war, and Washington was the leader of the American troops. But what if?
Onward! We will take the land from these Brits and this country will be ours. Oh, a storm in the distance!
After the tragic loss of Washington, America was crushed by the superior military of Britain.
America is mine. Ha ha ha. It will be mine forever.
And America was forever under the thumb of their parent country. Wah, wah, wah.
Hello, class. Make sure you finish your section summaries. The test will cover the Revolutionary War, where our stupid ancestors took a fat L. It's the last one before the AP British History test. Ta-ta! Will do, ta-ta!
Oh no, I can't wait to get some fish and chips later on. That'll be the best, mate. Honestly.
Oi! It's British Batman, ain't it? Oh! You better give that back now.
Derek, where'd you go?